G'day and welcome back for more Scrapyard Survival. Still heading on my way home. It's now dark, it's now stormy, and that's just delightful because that's going to make it so much harder to see any of the scrap as I head on my way back. I was hoping to find a few more things before I got there because I've got a flatbed. I've got room to bring some more stuff, so of course I want to bring more stuff. And I've still got 15 kilometers to go, so hopefully there will be some more stuff to be found before I get home. And then when I get home, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do first. I think it'll be something I decide based on what scrap I've found. And also... okay. I spotted that. I got that angle. I've got the heading. Let's go. Let's double back. I don't care. I see the location. It should be roughly on the right heading. But I was thinking of possibly starting to set up something of a pallet for a few of the different blocks and trying out a few different designs. And alongside that, maybe working on a bit of a forklift. Because if I'm going to have a pallet, I need a forklift that can lift those pallets, and I need to design the pallets around the forklift and the forklift around... Like, they kind of need to be designed together, in tandem, to make them work as best as I possibly can. If I design them in isolation, they will definitely be terrible. Oh. It's to my right. I almost went past it. Don't roll the trailer. What do we have here? We have a wind turbine. And that looks to be about it. A few dangerous fences. Yeah, this seems to be all. Alright. I will bring the wind turbine home. Because I can. But I'm not going to bring home the whole tower because I don't need to. I feel like it will make more sense for me to bring just the wind turbine and then have to rebuild the tower than to try and fiddle with the whole tower thing as I'm attempting to drive all this distance home. So if we go like this and just grab straight onto the wind turbine itself, and we're locked, and now I'll grind out the tower. I might leave that bit on just so I don't forget to put the lights back on when I actually get this put back up, because that's something I would like to have be somewhat, or that is something I would like to have consistent between all my wind turbines. There we go. Hacked. Now let's stick it on the back. Whoa. Okay. Did not anticipate that being so violent. Alright, looks like it's locked. We're good to go. Turbine number 5. Assuming I actually want to set it up on my base. Oh, that is a downside of the trailer. I've sort of... Oh boy. I've sort of undone the thing that I tried to do by putting my cockpit at the back. Because now all the scrap's still behind my cockpit again. I just need to make sure I don't stack it too tall, I guess. And it'll be fine for the camera. So I'm thinking with this truck acting as a flatbed, I do want to make this into a proper truck so that it can drive on its own if I want it to. But for attaching something like that, I don't really want its front wheels touching the ground when it's connected to my main truck. So I was thinking of building something like an old school tow truck style design with a lifting hook. That hook would be a hinge attaching to a hinge part on the front of the truck. So we have like a mini crane on the back, maybe mounted about here so that it's a bit further forward. And that has all the pitch, roll, yaw control. And then it comes down and attaches here so that can lift it all up. And then I have all that control back here, which hopefully will work. We'll see. In fact, pitch probably shouldn't be on that crane. Pitch can probably be on the hinge that attaches to the front of the truck, but everything else should be on the crane, I think. Maybe? Actually, maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe that doesn't matter. Oh, found the thing I was heading for, I think. Oh, I think I found someone at base. I do not think this is scrap. Oh, this is Arda's base. How did I... Huh. This doesn't look like Zarda's base. I'm very confused. I swear I saw Zada's train in a very different place to this. Oh well, I guess Zada moved after the after the last place. I suppose it was missing part of its roof, so I can understand that. It'll be good to give the trailer a wider wheelbase so it doesn't roll every time I turn. I mean, that the wind turbine's not helping, but still, it was rolling and very easily before that. Oh, I want to find some more stuff before I get home. Oh, okay. What do we got here? Another hangar. Alright, let's check it out. Got a battery to bring home. What's this jalopy got in it? Not much. Oh no, this has got 3 Atmo thrusters in the back. Okay, gotta bring those home. What about in here? What's in here? Nothing. Nothing I desperately want right now, anyway. What about in you? Oh yeah, I'll take your ammo. Anything on the roof of this place? Sometimes these have solar panels. Nope, nothing. At some point, I do want to pick up one of these hangars and bring it home. And add a couple of these Quonset hut hangars to my base, but I don't think now is the time. I think we'll grab these thrusters, I'll grab this battery, and that'll do me. I'll bring the truck up. Sometimes those places have nasty little surprises, that's why I parked so far back to begin with. Just to be safe. I still haven't put my light on the end of this to tell me where exactly it is, so I'm still kind of flying a little bit blind when I do stuff with it. Maybe they should fix that. Now for the tricky bit. Can I get my crane inside to grab that battery without having to grind away too much of the roof? Oh yeah, it looks like I might be able to. Go down. Straighten out. Have a look and see how close I am. Ooh, I don't think that's going to be close enough. I don't think that's got the reach. I'm going to have to probably drive around this side to collect it. Alright, collected a few of the components around here. Let's drive around the other side and grab this. Oh, wait, I got to get the battery off first. Alright, let's see. Can I hack it? Because it won't let me... No, it won't let me detach it because I don't own it yet. A common question I've had about the big batteries, or really about any of the batteries, is whether I could just have my inventory full as I get down to the power cells to try and keep them from being destroyed. Because normally components don't get removed from something as you grind it, in order to hack it, if your inventory's full. However, power cells will still get destroyed. They become scrap that's held in that block, much like a damaged block would, that as soon as you weld it, if you've got inventory space, that scrap will end up in your inventory. So it's, unfortunately not a solution here. Now that's access denied. Do I have another way to get access on this grid? I'm going to try something. I've taken some of the computers out of that battery. Do I have to get all of the computers out of the battery? Or, if I build one of these, can I convert it to me? No, access denied. Okay. No, lost a power cell. There we go. Another large grid battery for my base. Now what color is this one? It's another grey. Okay, so we're going to make it a rusty light blue. There we go. Something totally different. Don't leave these computers. This computer here. Oh, I should check this small cargo container. Oh, that was fortunate. That small cargo container just had 3 power cells in it. Oh, and 3 metal grids. Oh, oh, I am glad I didn't leave before I checked those. That was a big win. Power cells and metal grids. Yeah. I think I might have my cargo container finished. Also, I think my inventory on the Rover is full. I really need to find another medium cargo container. Or a large one for small grid. Right, around the other side, grab the battery, and then I spotted some stuff to the south-southeast, so I'm going to head there. Since my inventory is full and my flatbed's pretty much full too. I probably just want to head on out after grabbing the next thing. One of the other things I need to do for this truck is try and make some little outriggers to make it a little more stable when I'm picking up something heavy, so that I can possibly be a bit more stable if I come across one of those rail bridges and have a locomotive or a carriage up there that I want to collect. We're good. I'm going to just leave the crane up there. Right, south-southeast, that's where I was going. Which is not the way home, but it is the way, hopefully, to some scrap. And it's always nice to come home with a whole bunch of stuff. Because I've now got the jalopy with the drill and the small grid large battery. I've got the wind turbine. I've got the truck that I turned into a temporary trailer, which I'm going to upgrade once we get back. Probably with the battery from that jalopy, actually. I've got 3 thrusters. I've got a large grid battery. What else have I collected? I thought I had some small batteries. Oh no! I just noticed something. I think I lost my small batteries. And I know exactly why. My scrap beacon's gone. It got deleted when I was trying to fix up some other people's stuff, and I think I technically owned their beacon temporarily. Oh, there's a little truck down there, that's what that is. Let's go see. I think it's a truck. Could be a rock. Whoa! Whoa! What the heck just happened? What just exploded? Jeez. Some piece of armor just collided with the ground then. I don't even know what. Can't see any bent up stuff on my Rover. No. That happened. Oh. Oh, look what I found. An oxygen tank. Much like the one that I destroyed. And scared myself to half to death with. Alright, let's try that again. Let's see if we can get this one out. And not destroy it this time. So I need to cut open as much of this truck as I can to get this out. And then I will... I guess... grind these two off, like grind the tank and the O2H2 gen off. And then reattach them to each other so then it's easier to pick them up with the crane to then put them on the side of the truck. Which I think is the same process I used the first time. The difference is, when I get it back to base, I'm not going to drop it off like I did last time. Because that didn't work well. It was kind of terrible. We've got hydrogen tank and a couple of little batteries in the front. Alright. So part of me is just like, should I bring this whole truck? Like this whole vehicle and scrap it back at home? I'm not far from home now. Especially since my inventory is full. So I don't have a lot of room for getting other bits. Yeah, you know what? Let's just pick up the whole thing. And we'll get out of here. I might load this up front. Guess that'll do. Let's roll. Pretty good haul. Oh, that's what I should do. I should make a little parking area with mag plates on it to lock these grids down so that I've got a safe space to park them where they won't bounce around and they won't be, like, they'll be locked down properly without me having to put like a connector or something like that down. Although I could use a connector as well. I just don't, I feel like a mag plate should be enough. And then I can have all these scrap things hanging around until I grind them down. Like the jalopy and whatever the... What's the writing on the side of this truck say again? Oh yeah, Klang & Sons building. Be able to clear it off. Yeah, let's do that. So I think what I'm going to do is around the back side of everything is create that scrap area. Or even just in front of these turbines right here. The reason I'm thinking somewhere around here or around the back here is because then I'm really close to this cargo container, which I might be able to finish. Let's see. How close am I? 6 metal grids. Let's go get the 6 grids. Get further distracted from whatever it was I was doing. Oh. Oh, why are you full? No. Oh. You... No, you've got nothing in you. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna have to move some stuff into, into a variety of places. Just 2 metal grids to go. What do we got in here? We've got... Okay, so we do have some room over here. So I should be able to get the stuff out of that container. Get its metal grids. Build the large cargo container. And relax on the cargo front for... Oops, what am I doing? Why am I grinding that down first? And relax on the cargo front for an age. That's gonna be so good. So good. Ta-da! Ah, glories. Large cargo container, thank you very much. Now, let's pipe you up. Yes. Now, do you have a color? You do have a bit of a color. It's sort of... No, you don't really. You're just the tiniest little bit red. So we'll make you a bit more red. And I'm going to go with corrugated. There we go. Now let's add wheels to you. And to you. Actually, no. Let's add a connector to the front of... Oh, wait. Batteries. Okay. Never mind. Let's go back to the original plan. Let's build out this parking area, I guess. The scrap dumping area. Near the cargo container, so I've got an easy place to dump off stuff as I grind it down. And then I can offload those 2 truck bits that are currently attached. And I think I'll try and put any vehicles over here that I'm scrapping. Or planning to scrap. And if this spot gets full, then I should probably just go and scrap them rather than collecting more stuff. Or expanding this area to cover even more ground. Okay, now we need some mag plates. So I should just need 1 per parking spot. And if I have them 2 blocks apart, 1 block apart. Let's try 1. That gives me 5 spots, assuming I line things up neatly, which hopefully I will. And I'm going to grab the blue corrugated colour and paint them that. I think that'll look nicer. Then I'm going to put a series of buttons in place so that I can turn these on and off. Well, lock and unlock these without having to use build vision. Because it can be awkward to get to the mag plates to use build vision to control them. But having them this close to each other, it's kind of going to mean that I have to actually put the effort in and align things properly when I put them down here. Which button panel do I want? That one? I think I want this one. I'll go 1 for each mag plate. Yeah. Now I just got to name them all. Alright, so that's switch lock, that one, and then I'll do switch lock for each one as I go along. I kind of like that these make it feel like there's a bit more going on here. Like, even if I don't end up using the button, even if I didn't end up ever using these buttons, the fact that they're there, I feel like it adds some nice detail to this area, which I like. Alright, let's get the first bit of scrap on. Try and line this up a bit better. And drop. Yeah, nice. So that looks pretty neatly lined up. Perfectly on the mag plate. And lock. So hopefully that's going to make this much less likely to clang out like the big building did. That's my main reason for being a little bit cautious about this. Just try and make as few moving grids around here as possible. Make sure I can lock down things. So the plan with the pallets for all the small grid blocks is to merge block them to those pallets. And the reason to use merge blocks is because it's easy to then disconnect them and it doesn't cost me components to do so. But merge block them to the pallets and then have the pallets locked to the main grid so it's all nice and secure and not gonna go weird on me later. So let's get this battery off next. Oh no! What the heck? What? What the heck happened there? How is that wind turbine not a... What? That is so weird. Okay. Well, I guess I'm fixing that wind turbine that should never have been attached. There's several blocks missing from it. I don't know how there would be several blocks missing from it. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. So weird. Alright, so how many blocks do I need to add to this now? Dang it. I wasn't expecting to have to deal with this. I don't even have a theory on how this happened. Like, I've got no idea how that could have happened. Yeah, locked. Okay. Fixed. So strange. Alright. Anyway, it's fixed now. Let's get this battery on. I can nudge this into place. And I've then got, what? 4 large batteries on my base. Which is arguably all I need. But there may come a point where I need a lot of power for some reason. Maybe. So I guess I'll keep collecting them if I find them, because they are the sort of thing that you just never know. Yeah, let's drop down and dunk. Locked. Got to decide what to do with this wind turbine next. Oh, offloading takes almost as long as loading. So the next thing I want to do is put this wind turbine around the back here. I'll have to move that locomotive soon, because it's probably going to be forgotten if I don't. But I was thinking if I put the wind turbine on this side, then I'll have 6 turbines on the base, which is quite a bit of power generation, considering I don't have to run refineries, I don't have to run assemblers, I don't have to run any of those sorts of things. So it's quite generous. I just have to have enough power to run my wheels, and maybe I start flying something in the future, and then I'll have to power that as well. Cool. Merge block this down, and I can then get this jalopy off and start working on this trailer, because that's what I'd really like to do. It's nice to get these little bits added to the base, but it'd also be nice to make the truck start feeling a little more complete. It's been feeling half done for longer than I'd have liked. Oh. Do I dare let go? I think I dare. Do I dare? I don't know. Ah. Maybe I'll try it. Oh, that's a bit... Oh, yeah, got it. Nice. Okay. Cool. Turbine attached. Oh, I thought that one was going to be a lot more difficult. At some point, I probably should weld up these towers, especially since that other one magically broke. But that feels like a lot of work that I don't want to do right now. Now let's drive around the front, offload the little bits like those thrusters, and then I'll offload the jalopy, and then figure out this hitch system that I want to use. Because I'm going to get rid of this connector at the back, put the connector at the front of the Rover, because I'm going to need to move that scrap beacon that I replaced. And I'm not sure what to do after that. But we'll figure it out. Oh, that thunk every time I do that. So, what I've been finding is, if I keep pushing down on something with the crane, and it's on a mag plate or landing gear of some sort, if I do that, and then I unlock, by the time I've gotten back into the crane's controls, it's relocked again. So what I've been doing instead is pulling back on the thing against the other lock. So as soon as I unlock it, it goes thunk and jumps into place, because it seems to be the only way I can reliably do that. Okay, just one more thing to offload, and I am good. There we go. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's tidy enough. Lock it down. Ready for scrapping. Bring this guy around the front. So I'll put a battery in the truck, get proper wheels on the truck, because the truck's going to need to get upgraded to the same width wheelbase as the rest of, well, the truck trailer. The truck trailer combo is going to need to be upgraded to the same wheelbase as the crane truck combo so that they don't behave too weirdly with each other. It's going to be fun trying to figure out how to make that work, though. Style-wise. It's going to go a bit monster truckish, I think. And we've got 7 between, so... I mean, I could stick with 3x3s and just make it a little bit wider. It doesn't have to be the same wheelbase. Let's have a look at how it might work with the bigger wheels. Yeah... You know what? I'm going to make it a little bit wider. But I'm actually going to stick it... I'm going to stick to something that's not quite as all-terrain. I'm going to go with that. It's going to go a bit wider, a bit taller, but mainly wider. Because I think it'll still work just fine. Just a question of whether that feels too wide. Maybe go one less. Because at the moment there's just a single block between the suspensions, so if I add an extra meter to that by adding a block on each side, that might be enough to make this work a bit better. And have the wheels clear of the chassis, which is the body, whatever you want to call it, which makes them a bit more stable. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. I may regret this later. I may decide to upgrade it to something bigger later, but for now, I think it'll be alright. It's going to be interesting to see how this ends up working out. It went okay during that journey. Like, it was very roll happy, which I'm not particularly fond of, but it still held up alright. Yeah, it's adding some safety without making it look too silly. I was considering leaning into the monster truck look, much like the helicopter has, but the thing that held me back on that is that if I do that, I've actually created so much ground clearance under this truck that lifting up the front end so the front wheels aren't in contact when I connect up to my crane is going to actually be quite tricky. So I thought it would be better to actually keep it low and keep this one fairly low to the ground so that it is easier to lift that nose off the ground with my hitch design. Alright, now I need to get a battery. I think I have a battery inside. I do. Just gotta kind of get it in that engine bay. I don't really need to get it perfectly placed. So I should be able to manhandle it from there. Okay. Oh, don't bounce out, please. I need to get a couple of merge blocks. Nope, no. I said on top of the cockpit. There we go. Truck has a battery. I should be able to disconnect it and be able to drive it around, set it up, do all the things. I need to put a cockpit in it. How long's the Rover? Oh no, that fits. Cool. So, Rover cockpit. Yeah. Now I'm going to need to figure out how I repair the rest of this. Can't leave it all just a mess, can I? Mostly repaired engine bay. I've fixed up the bumper a bit. I might try and grab a few of the barred windows to cover up the front here and make it look a bit more interesting. Just always so much happier if I actually spend the time doing these things. There we go. Fix up the missing spotlights at the front too, because I probably want those. I might paint them in yellow. In fact, let's go yellow less rusty. Trying to bring these things a new lease on life by giving them a slightly nicer stuff. A few repairs here and there. This thing's obviously still quite the mess, because there are blocks missing and deformed blocks and the like. Well, it's gonna get there. Alright, let's get a bunch of mag plates on here now. Trying to decide how many to put on. Because it doesn't seem to be all that helpful to have a lot of them. But then again, it's kind of annoying having just one in a spot, because then I have to get exactly onto it. What I'm thinking of doing is something like this. So, how many do I fit if I go 1, 2... Okay, not that way. Run those off. If I do instead this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And I make each of these into a group. So they're all controlled as one. Rather than being controllable independently, which would allow me to put more small things on here. But the reason to have so many is just to make it easier to grab stuff, full stop. But I don't want to have so many controls that grabbing anything is really, really painful. Because I have to remember exactly where they are. But if I put them spaced out like this, and think of them in clusters of 4, it hopefully will work out pretty neatly. Plus, it should give me few enough blocks that I can put maybe even some buttons on the side here. That's a firm maybe given where the wheels are. But at least... actually, I could put
energy critical.
the buttons in a row and just have switch lock for the 4 groups, because there are 4 groups if I think of them this way. I'm going to give this a go and see if I like this idea or if I hate it, because I feel like this is the sort of thing that I'm just going to need to try out and find out. Yeah, four groups front to back, 1 each side. That's 8 groups. That's a single hotbar, so that actually isn't too bad. Yeah, so if I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 being the left front to back, and then 6, 7, 8, 9 being the right front to back, that should be fairly easy for me to remember which group is being controlled by which hotbar button, and hopefully be controllable while I'm still in the crane control, which is kind of the idea. But now for the joys of naming them all. Because, oh, there are 32 of these to name. Ah, dear. Now what I'm thinking is putting buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, and they control the way down there, just to keep the buttons away from these wheels, because I really don't want to accidentally have them colliding with those wheels. This has actually not been as painful to set up as I had feared. It's not been super quick, but it's the sort of thing that if I do it now, hopefully it's going to save me a lot of time later. Oh, right. When I was fixing up the engine compartment, I didn't attach my new, let's call it hood ornament, as was suggested in the comments on the last video, of a hinge part. Now, I probably want this raised up a full block so that there's clearance around it, which may look weird, but I think for the sake of safety is probably the better idea. There we go. Doesn't look as bad as I feared. But what I'm thinking is, let's grab the right type of paint. An advanced rotor. Maybe I should have this higher up, actually. Oh, but then the subgrid's going to get in the way of the camera of the cockpit. No. What do I do? What do I do? I feel like this is going to have multiple iterations as I figure this out, having not built like this before. Oh yeah, that's actually not too far off what I was thinking. Okay. So yeah. The idea I had in mind was have something with a fixed angle on it like that. Then we have some other attachment points for it. Initially I'd imagined having a rotor under this end so it could spin at the base. But if I do that, the cockpit has to move. In fact, the cockpit may have to move anyway. But I'm going to try and see if this will give me enough movement. Not that way. This way. I don't know if it's going to. I think this is all going to fail horribly, because the angles are all weird. Oh. Okay, I'm going to have to put that on a thing. Alright. Yeah, let's move the cockpit forward a bit. I think the cockpit will look better if it's... No! Oh, I don't want to have to move the cockpit. I'll have to set up all my controls again. Actually, there aren't that many controls. That is not a big deal. Because all of the controls for the crane are on the remote control that I am not having to move. We'll bring it up the side to about here. Redo this, but place it on a rotor base so it can turn. So that allows us to do our left-right movement now. So all I need other than this is roll and pitch. Pitch should be provided by the attachment point there. So I just need to add roll into this setup here. And hopefully I can get enough roll by just putting a hinge in the middle of the crane segment, the pickup segment. So have a nice long segment like that. Then we'll put another column or two here. Probably just the one, actually. Then I need... Oh, I should have a hinge. I should have a rotor somewhere in there for roll, because that's going to be relatively horizontal. More horizontal than this section. Okay, fix that. So we got a rotor in there, and then we drop to the other bit. It's part of me that's tempted to put a hinge in there, but I also like the idea of this being a fixed angle. So there's only the one hinge that has to do any work here. My worry, of course, is that that hinge is not going to be strong enough. Although 1,000 meganewton meters is hopefully going to be enough. And then simply that. Of course, I ground the wrong bit. And then simply that. Yeah, that's better. It'd just be a case of driving up, dropping down the main hinge, and attaching. Or even just attaching. Yep, attached. So then I lift this up. And we have our trailer. Nice. I mean, it's a thing. That's probably too high. But I think this works. Hopefully this shows everyone what I was intending with it at least. It's really, because it doesn't have much articulation in it, it's hopefully easier for me to line up to and attach. I need to turn you off and set your limits. So this needs roll limits of, we'll go minus 15 and 15. Unlock. Let's see how this handles. Very easy to jackknife, unfortunately, because the flatliner does collide with my rear wheels. That is a bit of a problem. I might need to make the hitch mechanism a little bit longer to get that a bit more clear. So those front wheels and the front of the truck don't collide with my rear wheels on my main truck. Okay, but workable. Workable as it is. The bouncing's fun. I kind of like it. I need a connector on the front now. And I'm locked. Getting charged. Battery on the flatliner will get charged as well. Yeah. Not bad at all. I'll definitely extend the length of that soon. Because I am going to cause myself problems. I am running into those wheels way too easily. I think it needs to be probably almost twice as long, which will actually make the roll rotor better, because it's going to be at an even more, well, it'll be even more horizontal. The longer that arm is, the closer to horizontal that rotor becomes. And hopefully the better the hitch then operates. Yeah, that works alright. That is my next job. Cool. So as you can tell, there's been a little bit of a break for a moment. But I'm going to extend this as planned, because I do need to make that truck sit further back. But I was just looking at the crane mechanism and wondering whether I could make it piston actuated. I think it might be too small. But the reason I was thinking of piston actuation was if I managed to have a piston attached, sort of, let's just flip it around, like that, to a flat platform that was spinning, because obviously the spinner has to probably be at the base of the crane, the piston might actually provide more resistance to an extra heavy load on the back here than the hinge would. But I do think it'll probably be too big for me to get away with that, which is sad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this off from here, move the truck away a little bit, and try and put it at about the distance it needs to be in order to not run into those wheels. So I think that's probably about here. I think at that sort of range, I should be able to flip around right to 90 degrees either side of the main center line of the truck, of the crane. I need to make sure I don't put the handbrake on. So let's cut this off and extend it that far, which looks a long way. Have to see how I feel about that. And yes, I have also realized I have given my crane truck a tail. Now that should clear the wheels nicely, which is great. And I forgot to put the rotor in. I knew I was missing something. You can see before it was at 50-something degrees, now it's at 60-something degrees, so it's much, much closer to the horizontal, which means all of the rotors and hinges in here are going to work a bit more reliably, I think. As in, reliably doing what I want them to do. I'm not entirely sold that I need these 3 pieces on this now that it's this long, because I could just lift it up, make it basically straight, but something up to there. Actually, maybe I make the upper limit minus 60 degrees. Because then we can leave this on, and it'll just push up to 60 and just stay there. And then the lower limit should be something like minus 75, I think. Yeah, that's taken all the weight off it. And then we can just reverse. Picks up. Nice. Alright, let's test this. Let's drive it around and see if it handles a little bit better. So first off, can I jackknife it so that... Oh wait, I need to turn the things off. Before I test that, let's go turn you off. And your limits need to be lower limit of minus 15. Upper limit of 15. Upper limit of 15. Oh no! Not sure what I exploded just then. This looks fine. This looks surprisingly fine. I've lost the connector. The crane's intact. Have I lost a battery? I've damaged the front of the truck a little bit. Yeah, so I forgot that I don't adjust limits while hinge lock or rotor lock is off. Whoops. Should not have done that. You rotor lock, then you adjust, then you unlock. Oof. That could have been real bad. But somehow, not a disaster. Oh wait, where's my body? It's way over here. Holy cow, it's 300 meters away. I was launched! Can't believe after that my Rover is the right way up. That is insane. Oh man, alright. Grab the parts for a connector to replace the one that just exploded. Glad I'd offloaded all the goodies. I don't know how I got that lucky then. That's insane. That could have been so bad. Anyway, back to testing how this drives. At least I know I can jackknife it without any major problem. So I can go around to 90 degrees. It's well clear of those rear wheels on a tight turn, which is great. It's handling better on the turns at speed, but it isn't loaded right now. And we're obviously on perfectly flat ground, which helps. Yeah, I'm happy with this. This is pretty good. Yeah. Awesome. Now I just want to weld it up. And obviously... Oh, I blew up the connector on the base too. That did have stuff in it.
Inventory full.
I need to quickly collect that before the server does its restart. Hopefully that's all that was there. Let's replace that connector. So, I've put all of my stuff into the one cargo container. And just thought I'd do that to have a look at how much stuff I actually have of certain critical components. Things like computers, power cells, large steel tubes, metal grids, that sort of thing. Because obviously got plenty of steel plate, got plenty of construction components, plenty of interior plate, and a few of the other bits. But I've got 7 medical components, which is pretty awesome. 23 cases of Gatling ammo. I don't know that I've got the matching pistol to go with that magazine. And I don't think I've got the matching rifle to go with that magazine. So there are some limits of usefulness to some of this stuff. But if I get very lucky, I may just stumble upon the thing I need to be able to make these into more useful ammunition. But I have not seen anything like it yet. Cool. Well, you know, collecting a moderate amount of stuff. It's looking okay. Got a decent number of motors, 296 of them. So, weld this up now that I've somehow managed to not explode it. Hearing the sizzling sounds from the front of that cockpit just after I say when I somehow haven't exploded it just made me worry. Hang on a sec, did I blow up something that I haven't seen yet? Is there something I'm going to realize later and be like, no, what have I done? That seems to be okay. Connector. Oh. I could have done this with connectors. Put a little... And that would have given me more fudge factor. Huh. I'll have to think about that if I do another thing designed to attach and detach like that. With the small connectors, we've got a better option that gives us that fudge factor. So that things don't end up getting quite so kicked around when you do the connection. I'm just so used to using hinges and rotors to do this sort of thing. And keep forgetting that small connectors are a thing. Alright. So, thinking for the materials that I have, I should probably start collecting the parts that would go into a flying machine. Or a forklift. Maybe a forklift first. Because moving these parts to here was a major task and a real pain. Which is why I edited it out, because it was really slow. I didn't talk, I was just like, ugh. Okay. So, little forklift of some sort. Probably build it off this battery here. Although, I do have another battery, so I might want to pull the two of them together. I think there was another battery in the front of this. Yeah, another one up there. So let's get this one out, and we'll bring it into the garage as well, and see what way I want to link them together. Because I think having two of these together will work as a better basis for a forklift, because it does need to have a bit of its own mass to avoid flipping over when I'm picking stuff up. I hope that these are mirrored from each other instead of being in the same orientation. So that requires 6, that requires 2. But there's something else I've been thinking about with these, and that is I'm not sure what's going to happen if I build them up. There are some blocks, if you repair them, stay owned by who they were owned by before they got down to that state. And you have to repair them, hack them, to then own them. And I'm worried that might be the case here. So what I'm going to try and do to prevent that being a problem is I'm going to get a control panel, build that on here. And because I now own more of the grids on here, I should be able to grab these two and transfer ownership to me before I repair them. And then I will just be able to repair them and they'll be fine. Let's test my theory. That's 1. And that's 2. Oh no! I'm going to have to separate them. But yes, I own these because I can do build visiony things on them. I did not align these right at all. Now the batteries are set up. Think about what cockpit to use. Would I go with that? Yeah, let's give it a try. If this ends up too big, I'll try and figure out a way to make it smaller. Now, since we're on a dedicated server, I'm going to avoid using these short wheel suspensions because they have a tendency to get stuck, even though they shouldn't, but they do. They get very badly stuck, even in situations where you wouldn't have expected them to. So I'm hoping I can do this and use 2x2 wheels like that. And another one up front. And that's the wheelbase. Actually, this is so long with the 2x2s. I wonder if I can do something even more ridiculous than this. Oh no, those are too close together. That'll require skid steering if I was going to do that. Do I go with a 6-wheeler? It is adding extra length that I really don't want to add. I wanted this thing to be nice and short and stumpy. So I'm not going to do that. In fact, I think this cockpit is going to need to go up on top of the batteries. So this thing can be nice and short. Stumpy. It is wider than it is long, though, which is possibly going to be an issue, but hopefully not too much of an issue. So, in terms of lifting apparatus for this, that's the next thing to figure out. Let's put a bit of a something down the midline here so that these are attached. And I can get rid of those. That block at the front there, these blocks. So I don't want them. So for lifting, I definitely want to be able to at least lift things up to one large grid block above the ground. And so it needs to be at least 2 pistons to do the lifting. I'm going to do that. And I want to make sure that there's enough clearance around blocks that I'm not likely to have them flip out. So my hope is that the pistons will be okay sitting right next to each other like this. And I'll place merge blocks on top to link them together. And then I should be able to remove those merge blocks. The main reason for the 2 pistons is style. Because I've built this with even symmetry. As in, there's an even number of blocks either side. I kind of want to make it balanced, because otherwise I'd have just one piston off to one side. Because I can't just have a centered piston, because there is no single center place for this. Alright. These should be able to come off now, and those should be linked. How do I test that? How do I be sure about that? I don't know. I guess if I try and push this up now, and it doesn't, then they're linked. Oh no, it does. Okay, they're definitely linked. Good. I would not recommend doing that when you're anything but attached to the ground. So those will give me 4 meters of lift, the 2 pistons together. So that should be enough with blocks. I could use pistons coming back down, which would then give me even more height. But I'm going to try and see whether I really need that by making this solid first. Because I think it'll look nice. And then we can put a hinge or 2 on here. Try and get a gyroscope on here, which I should have done before I lifted it up. Oh well. Might have to use the crane to do that. But definitely want a gyro or 2 on here to try and keep this thing stable.
Energy critical.
Because it is gonna want to flip. Look at this ridiculous thing. It's so top heavy. Oh, that's gonna be bad. Alright, how do I get a gyroscope on here? Where do I have a gyroscope? I've got 3 over here. Okay. So I think having the gyros attached somewhere on the back there would probably make a lot of sense. So I'll make a little bit of a platform, and then I'll try and get the gyroscope up on that platform. I have an idea of how to do that using leverage, just to see if I can do it. Not because I think it's a good way to do it, but because I'm curious if I can make it work. A bit of a ramp now. Let's grab this by the attached blocks. Which does seem to make it a bit easier to move around. Use these extra blocks to do something like that. Kill. There we are. 1 gyro. Let's get another one. Come on. Get in place. Get in there. Weld. Weld already. Come on. Hey, there we go. Huh. I mirrored them. Luck. Awesome. Okay, we got gyros, we got batteries, we got a cockpit, we got wheels, and we got the forks. So let's disconnect from this thing. We're going to need a connector and some way to connect to the base. That's the next thing to do. Let's have a drive with this first. Oh, wait, no. Let's turn off steer, or turn down steer on the front wheels. I want power down to 30. I want strength up to 8 now. And I want speed limit to 30 kilometers an hour. Now the next thing, can I fit comfortably through the doorway? Since this is meant to go inside the warehouse, I have locked onto the ground. Alright, let's name some things then. There we go. And then I should be able to do extend. Oh no! Okay, one of the pistons is not attached. Which piston is going wrong there? That was not happy. Oh. I don't know how I didn't blow anything up. That's also cool. I can lie down in the forklift. And I can stand up in the forklift. Oh boy. Right. That was terrifying. There we go. Sit about there. Okay. So, what's going on with the pistons? Piston. You have a speed of 0.5. You have a speed of 0.5. You have a speed of 0.5. You have a speed of 0.1. There we go. Now, hopefully, if I extend... Hey! Nope. Wrong. Bad wrong. Still not happy. Still not happy. Still not happy. Ooh. Why did it gradually get unhappy? Where are the phantom forces coming from? Also, I should probably do this away from valuable things like my crane. Oh boy. I don't know where I'm getting the phantom forces from. Those pistons should have matched. Why are pistons creating phantom forces? Let's have a look at them again. Pistons. They're definitely all in the group. Seems like it should be fine. But then when I do this, it's fine to there. Fine to there. Oh, it's fine this time. Weird. Okay. Well, that is actually, I think, less surprising to me. The fact that that's weird. Now, one of the nice things about having the hinge controlled landing gear at the front is that I can say drive up to this drill over here. Probably need even less power on these wheels. I can drive up to this drill, we can make the thing tilt down a bit, grab it, reverse and lift, and I can pick up things off the ground without the forks actually needing to scrape on the ground, which is great. And now I can move this drill inside with ease. If you've got any suggestions on how I can improve the forklift, oh man, I still said please share, because I'm open to ideas on this one. I think it's working pretty well for my needs right now, but I'm sure there are things I can do better. Like, I possibly want the suspension to be a little bit stronger at the front. Let's put that up to 12. The magical gyros definitely help make this a more useful vehicle, because I can, as noted, do the whole let's lie down and go to sleep and let's wake up and get to work thing. This should make moving these pieces around a lot easier. Let's grab this engine over here. I think I want to set up park so that I can use some controls, probably the arrow controls, to control the forks and stuff, because I think it'll be a lot quicker than using the hotbar controls. Because the hotbar controls are pretty slow and cumbersome. They're just an easy thing for me to set up now. I'm going to move away from that wheel that I'm very near to locking on to with my landing gear and come at this engine from a bit further away. Lock, and we can lift, off, in we go. Now I can start organizing things, and I can start coming up with a simple, oh, right, doorway. Forks should go down for doorway. Oh no. Why am I phantoming? Why am I phantoming? What is going on? No, I should not have gotten out. It's worse. It's getting worse. What did I break? Did I just break a light and that was all? Or did I break a battery? I think I broke a battery. Oh, I smashed up a battery bad. What? Okay. I think I'm going to need to make this a block wider so that I can have a single piston lift. Or make the pistons blocks apart from each other. Something is not happy about the way that's working. And that's an expensive mistake to have made. But I think I will attempt to fix that next time, because that's basically a full rebuild. And I figure this is a good opportunity to do a rebuild after getting some suggestion from you guys in the comments. So if you've got any ideas of what I should do to improve this forklift other than splitting the pistons of the forks apart so that they don't go weird like that, any other ideas would be much appreciated. Next time, I'm going to obviously rebuild the forklift, try and start organizing my stuff inside this warehouse into nice, sensible piles and onto pallets and things, and hopefully get out there to do some more scrapping with my truck here, as I'd really like to use it to collect some more bits and pieces that might give me enough inspiration and enough parts to start decorating the crane, even though I may end up doing a complete rebuild of it too. But yeah, I'm going to do some more decorative stuff next time and some more organization to make this place feel even more like home, because I really like it when I get the time to do those sides of things. I really like coming back to a place like this, like having my little hut here makes a big difference to how connected I feel to this space. So there's all that, and probably more weird phantom forces to come, and I will see you then.